As filmmakers, we have to continually be dogged about our approach, always looking to improve and tell compelling stories in new and interesting ways. But making films is a daunting task and an often exhausting process. So we need to have rules and guardrails for ourselves to keep making progress and achieve what we set out to achieve. So today, here are 5 filmmaking resolutions to help you achieve your goals in 2024. Resolution number 1, no lazy moments. We've all been in that situation where we aren't feeling inspired or are pressed for time, and so instead of doing a job or task thoughtfully, we just throw something together and hope nobody notices that we half-assed it. For example, I've often quickly just set up an interview or don't worry too much about how it looked because I thought I wouldn't use it or need it. I'm not a huge fan of interviews in my documentary work as it is, so it is often the case that I don't use it. But once I get to the edit, I realize I did need that interview and now have to use something that is below my standards of quality. If I just would have spent the time to set things up properly, I would have been in a better position in the edit and had a better final film. This could have been fixed by simply just taking another 20-30 minutes to block some light or diffuse a light or find a solution to working with subpar location or lighting setup. But this isn't the only way to have sort of a lazy moment. Some other ways are, not putting a mic on a character because you don't think they're important, but they turn out to say something amazing and now you just have bad audio. Or phoning it in when you're editing and just say it's good enough. Not calling your characters or locations because you don't want to talk on the phone, which, I hate talking on the phone, so sometimes that happens. But there are millions of ways to have many lazy moments in your work. So resolution number 1, no lazy moments. You are there to do a job, so do it. You can be lazy during the times you're not working on your film. But once you decide you're going to do work, just do everything you can to make it as solid as possible. Treat every moment as a necessary part of the job. Resolution number 2, be a nice person first, a filmmaker second. You can still get what you need and be a decent human. Oftentimes, it's because you are a decent person that you get great content. And that's especially true in documentary film. In documentaries, you're often dealing with people going through difficult things, or you are handling sensitive information or watching someone go through an incredibly vulnerable moment. It is way more important that you capture the raw honesty of that person's experience than making sure the lighting on them is perfect. So many docs and doc series these days are so overly produced and, in my opinion, really hurt their end product because normal people have a difficulty opening up and being vulnerable when they feel like they are part of a giant production. So be a kind, open person first, and a documentary filmmaker second. In non-documentary work, there is this tendency to think of yourself as an auteur, as someone who knows the best way to do something. Trust me, you don't know the best way to do everything. There is always someone out there, somewhere, who knows a better way. So don't bulldoze other people's ideas or work because you want to see your idea be the one that is chosen. Collaborate as much as possible and try to make the best film you can collectively. So resolution number 2, be a good person first, a filmmaker second. Resolution number 3, never ask your team to do something you wouldn't do yourself. If you want others to work long hours or go the extra mile, you better do so as well, and then some. Nobody who works on your project will care as much about the project as you do. They just won't. It's not possible. They are not the people who have been staying up late at night thinking about the film and pouring their heart and soul into it. That's you. So you can't expect them on set or on a shoot or in post-production to suddenly have the same fervor and care about your film and project as you do. So if you're going to push people and demand they work their butt off, then you better be doing so as well. When I shot my first fiction feature earlier this year, I asked for a lot of help and favors from friends and colleagues. And even though they were all willing to help, I would make sure it was me who was staying up late, backing up footage and charging batteries, and getting up early to plan for the next day. So resolution number 3, never ask anyone to do something you aren't willing to do yourself. Unless you're paying them a lot of money, then sure, tell them to do whatever you want. Resolution number 4, don't kill yourself or your team with long hours. Along the same vein, don't put yourself in a position where you have to ask people to go the extra mile. If people are ready to run a marathon with you, there's no reason to tack on an extra 6 miles and make it a 50K ultra. Instead, plan accordingly and make sure you're not killing yourself and your team with long hours and brief rest periods. I've been on doc shoots that ended up being 12, 13, or 14-hour shoot days. And let me tell you, after 10 hours of holding a 20-pound camera package and having to hold intense and focused attention, you're just not doing your best work anymore. So plan accordingly and see if you can get everything you need in 8 to 10 hours. You'll thank yourself, your crew will thank you, and everyone who works on the project will have had a more enjoyable and fun experience. If you're trying to cram in as much as possible because you can't afford more days, then be more efficient with crew. Do more with less, and shoot more days. I would much rather shoot 8 relaxed, deliberate, and steady 9-hour days with a crew of 3 than shoot 5 hectic 14-hour days with a crew of 6. Every single time. So resolution number 4, be more efficient, plan better, and have a smaller team and shoot more days. Resolution number 5, enjoy the process, because there truly is nothing else. For the last resolution, it's not really anything to do, but just something to remember. Make sure you are enjoying the process, whether you're a filmmaker, YouTuber, or in another profession altogether, because the process is the only thing. I've been lucky enough to have had some success in this industry, from selling multiple films to Netflix, getting paid to be a DP on funded films, to being nominated and even winning some awards. And it's easy to get caught up in the results, the accolades, the praise, the likes, and the views. But all of this is fleeting, and all of this isn't guaranteed. It often isn't even in your control. So when the praise dies down, you're just left to start work on the next project. I've also had films and work that I've poured immeasurable amounts of time into that have not been bought, have not won any awards, or didn't get into any film festivals. And while that is often crushing, if it was a piece of work I really enjoyed making and I improved my craft while making it, then it was worth it. I know that I'm naturally an extrinsically motivated person. I want the attaboys and good jobs. But what happens when you don't get those? It's easy to get discouraged or to give up. But if instead you enjoy the process and collaboration and the growth that you get from each and every project, then you succeeded before you even release the work out into the world. If you're lucky enough to make films for a living, or it's just a hobby that you enjoy, then you've already got it made. So be thankful for the process. Enjoy the act of creating, because truly, often, there is nothing else. So there you have it. 5 resolutions to kickstart your filmmaking in 2024. I hope you found some of these helpful, and I look forward to keeping these in mind for my own work for the next 12 months and beyond. If you have any filmmaking resolutions that you're looking to employ in 2024, leave them in the comments below, and let's talk about what we're going to achieve in the next year and beyond.